नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. First thing, God bless America. Today is July 4th for America. Actually, yesterday was July 4th for India, but yesterday at this time, it was July 3rd for US. So today it is July 4th for US. This time, I'm blessing this great country. And I also want this to be on record. It is this country supported our Sangha to happen in this scale. I wanted to remember this country with all my gratitude. It is that giving nature of US and the people who gave from US created our Sangha. The way it is standing, whatever infrastructure we have to reach out to people, all the outer world infrastructure, I credit it and attribute it to the giving nature of this country, US. So, happy Independence Day. God bless America. I'll continue to expand on Kathopanishad. Yesterday I was speaking about the story Vajashravas, king who is feeling insecure and was asked to do a fire ritual from the Vedas, but started doing without understanding the context. His son Nachiketa questions. This is the story. I'll now try to expand the sacred secrets hidden in this story. The first thing, king getting into the mental setup of business or bargain shows the identity crisis happened to him. Please understand. King is a person, or at least he is expected to be a person, either lives with powerfulness as a giver, or collapses and disappears from us. Please understand. King is not expected to be eternal, but he is expected to be powerful as long as he is there as king. He can't afford to get into the mental setup of a Vaishya, businessman. Same way, a person of knowledge, he is not expected to be a giver. Nobody expects a person of knowledge to be doing charity, but he is expected of a high standard of consciousness. Highest standard of consciousness. He is expected to constantly share the spiritual knowledge. Live, remember, share the spiritual knowledge. He can't afford to commit even a small mistake. King in the war can kill even those few innocent people who are not directly involved in the war. He won't incur a big sin, because when there is a war, naturally there will be innocent deaths. But a person of knowledge, a Brahmin, cannot kill even an ant. Even an ant can't be killed by him. So from each person's, the anyakara of society, what society expects, the role they need to fulfill in the society is different. So the identity collapse, inauthenticity entering into the identity crisis is what Gita describes as jati nashta, intermingling of castes, getting impure. Please understand. Because the ancient time, the jati was based on the mental setup, not just based on your birth. Vishwamitra by jati is a Kshatriya, but he is always remembered as the highest Brahmana. He is respected as Brahma Rishi by Vasishta. Understand, each one need to maintain their role. Here the first step towards the free fall, Vajashravas getting into the powerlessness and adopting the mental setup of a Vaishya businessman instead of his originally expected state of Kshatriya. If a Kshatriya falls from the mental state he is supposed to be, he should just die. Because too many people's expectation is on his shoulder. If a Shudra collapses, it is only going to impact him or maximum his family. If a Vaishya collapses, it is maximum going to affect him or his community, means people who are dependent on him for their food, people who work under him. But if a Kshatriya collapses, the whole society, the whole country is going to collapse. He should not be alive. If he collapses and adopts the mental setup of businessmen, if he falls from his state, he should not be alive. Same way a Brahmana, if he collapses from his space, the whole loss of knowledge happens. He can't even afford to collapse. Here the Vajashravas has missed the space of Kshatriya, adopted the mental setup of Vaishya, give and take. Because he has collapsed, he feels deep insecurity. I can say insecurity collapses him, collapsing makes him feel insecurity. Both feed each other, the vicious circle. One of the worst thing is, actually falling is not that worse, but not standing up is really worse. This guy not only fell and did not even bother to diagnose why he is fallen. That is why wrong decision. See, if he was feeling insecure, he should not have decided the solution on his own. He should have just reached out to his guru. You trying to find the solution on your own is almost like trying to take the across-the-counter medicines. Oh, I have a headache. Let me go to pharmacy and ask for some headache tablet and eat without even diagnosing. After 2 years, you will realize you have a tumor in the brain. It is as dangerous as taking across the counter medicine without medical support or without the proper diagnosis. This guy does the same messing up. He decides on his own what is his problem without looking into the depth. See, if the Guru is not ready to guide, or he doesn't have enough listening to ask the Guru, because no Guru will say, I am not interested to guide. Only when they don't have a listening, enough listening, they say, then all right, what to do? I don't know whether he doesn't have enough listening or he did not even approach a Guru. He must have had Rajaguru. He has decided on his own the solution for the incompletion he is feeling. He diagnosed the problem as, maybe I am feeling a little insecure, I have become old. I don't know whether all these pleasures, joy, everything will come along with me. Please understand, in any field, having more than what is required, the opulence lifestyle, luxurious lifestyle, takes away your strength. Please understand, in any field, having more than what is required to run your life, whether you are a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or anything, luxury is the sure killer of your power, intelligence, and ability to reinvent yourself. Somebody commented when I spoke about poverty in the Facebook that I am talking about poverty sitting on the throne, golden throne. You need to know, first of all, it is not gold. It's gold painted. And second, traditionally the knowledge, the sacred truths I am sharing is respected with this kind of a seat. I am not promoting poverty forever. I am only saying at least 1 year, because it will rekindle the inspiration to reinvent yourself. And I have spent 9 years and reinvented myself. Anyhow, let me come back to the subject. I tell you, poverty is not forced upon me either at that time nor now. I tell you, imposed poverty or minimal living awakens many of your possibilities and capacities to live the life to its peak possibility. I tell you, self-imposed poverty or minimum living, the aparigraha lifestyle is the most luxurious thing you can have. Even now I can comfortably sleep happily on the floor, live just few handful of simple vegetarian food, nothing else from outside is needed to entertain me, excite me, keep me alive, active. My simple breathing is enough for me to enjoy my existence. and celebrate my being, I tell you, the lifestyle of aparigraha means living with minimal things is the most luxurious thing you can have, because that will constantly keep you active. In your peak possibility, your body will be active, your mind will be active. I have seen in very close quarters many sannyasis of different sampradaya, different orders, of different religions. Some of the most active, powerful sannyasis, if I have one more chance, I will take up. Of course, I don't have, that is different. If I have, I'll take up my life as a Jain monk. I tell you, the kind of activism, active, alive, they are because of their aparigraha lifestyle. Even the Madhva Sampradaya sannyasis, many Madhva Sampradaya sannyasis I have seen in very close quarters. The aparigraha lifestyle they maintain and the way they are being active is amazing. In my experience, these two sampradaya, Jains and Madhva Sampradaya, Swamis live the most active, most energetic lifestyle, most possible simple, living with minimal things. Here these Vajashravas, unfortunately punished with so much of luxuries, that's the right word I will use, punished with so much of luxuries, lost the knowledge or sense of how to be alive and active. I tell you, luxury, when it becomes lifestyle, kills your possibilities, kills your possibilities, takes away your inner strength, takes away the strength of your body and mind to reinvent itself with the flow of life. I have seen even when I am training my sannyasis. Actually, I have all sampradaya sannyasis with me in my order. Means people who live like Jain monks, really, really austere, and people who live much more than a king, punished with luxury. I have all types, all variety. When I train them, I always observe people who are living like Jain monks or Madhva sannyasis with austerity, tapas. They are always healthy, active, alive, brilliant, powerful, don't fall into incompletion. Even in their day-to-day life, they are very light people. They don't get hurt. You can't hurt them. They are very light people. They can run the life anywhere. They can accommodate any number of people in their inner space. They can work with any number of people. But when you are punished with the luxury, please understand, it's a punishment. If you are living a luxurious life for 12 years, all your good qualities are killed. I am telling you 100%. All your good qualities. You become such heavy person, not only physically, even mentally. You can't accommodate people in your inner space. All possibility for your expansion, whether it is your business or your career, your profession, your personal life, everything is dead. I can challenge. You can only have more and more divorce, not any more expansion. You can fire your subordinate, you can fire your general manager, you can fire your CEO. You can have only divorces in personal life or professional life. You cannot expand. Or you will be stuck with the same old few fools who can't reinvent themselves. You are stuck with them because of your insecurity, they are stuck with you because of their insecurity. And I also thoroughly studied people who share their wealth, give away, those people continue to be active. That is why many of the multinational companies encourage their staff to contribute, donate, do charity. They also match up. And the companies which are doing this matching programs, please understand, they are doing good to themselves. They are creating active people as part of their company. I'm really telling you, the person who gives up is the most active person. 12 years, if you are habituated to luxury, even if you are enlightened, you collapse. Please understand. Because you become so rigid, heavy, the possibility of reinventing is completely forgotten. Vajashravas, this fool must have been at least 40, 50 years soaked in luxury, soaked in alcohol. Once in a while, came out only to have women. Again, went back to that same bottle. The fellow must have lost the originality, ability to reinvent, which is needed for a king. Please understand. Luxury can be at the most a rare celebrative occasion, a celebration, or which gets added during a festivals. Once in a while, okay. But if that becomes a lifestyle, you will even lose the basic things required for what you are. I think by now these Vajashravas should have lost all the ability to wage war, take decision, conduct court. Fellow may not even be able to hold the sword up. Because king entering into the business mental setup means he must have been getting degraded for years. It doesn't happen in one moment. Please understand, all collapsing happens through the years, not in one moment or one day or 2 days. That is why I always tell people, if you just don't miss satsang, that is enough. You will be liberated. Nothing else is required. Because in satsang, I will make sure I hit you whether in your pain point or bliss point or some point, and I will wake you up at least once in 2 days and once in a week. One of my Swami was complaining, because of this satsang, we can't even afford to be in depression for more than 2-3 days. How much ever we try, we are not even allowed to be in depression. Understand? It's only with a long gap of not being reminded about your identity, not being asked to become authentic, you collapse. Unfortunate, the Vajashravas collapsed. Otherwise, he should not be doing such a cheap thing. King, when a king, not only in a sacrifice or a yajna, spiritual or religious ritual, even normally when he gives, neither his hand nor the receiver's hand should be able to hold what is given. That is giving. Understand? Giving means a person who gives and person who receives, both hands should not be able to hold what is given. He is giving. King should have been giving in that way, that scale. Actually, to be giving, you need only one thing, powerfulness, not any object. It's a powerfulness that is required. If you see Mahabharata, Karna, the greatest giver, is only a king of a small kingdom, Angadesha, which may be 1/100th of Duryodhana's or Pandavas. What Pandavas had or Duryodhana's had, it must have been 1/100th. But why is he able to give? He discovered the sacred secret of giving. Giving keeps you active to make more. When you are active and you need to create more, you will become more creative to create more. Creativity is unending resource. Opening up unending resource in your life happens only for a person who gives, not for the person who holds. The most uncreative people I have ever seen are these Wall Street fellows. Yakshas, the people of Kubera, they only know how to hold. The most creative people I have seen are who just create something and sell for their life, and again who has to create something else to live their life. Those kind of people are the most creative people I have seen in my life. I have seen hundreds of different painters, sculptors, the metal sculptors, artists, poets. Only the people who live without accumulating anything, their creativity is the peak possible creative expression. Because they have to survive, they open the door of creativity, endless resource. Human being should live exactly like this. Rich because you touched the endless resource which is creativity. Rich because you reached the endless resource called creativity. Not because of remembering the zeros in your bank balance. If you feel yourself as a hero because of the zeros you have in your bank balance, be very clear, you are Vajashravas. You are just Vajishravas. You need Nachiketa or you will have Yama. This guy Vajishravas, because he has been numbed, he has become insensitive because of the punishment, self-punishment of luxury. Self-imposed prison is luxurious lifestyle. I tell you, best part of my life was when I lived with that self-imposed poverty. Good. Because of that, I am able to continue to have that lifestyle, continue to keep that ability alive, retain that ability alive. My ability to work 20 hours a day, I'll attribute it to the lifestyle I developed, reinvention I did of myself due to that during the period of that 9 years of self-imposed poverty. Ability to face a crisis, ability to manage a crisis, ability to manage a new situation, ability to manage a change in the situation, all this is lost. All this is lost with the continuous luxurious lifestyle. Please understand, if you are rich, don't punish yourself with the luxurious lifestyle. That's the biggest punishment you will give it for yourself. Just because you are rich, don't destroy yourself. Even your muscle memory and biomemory, once they are accustomed to luxurious lifestyle, lose the ability to reinvent themselves, lose the ability to be active, alive, lose the ability to do the crisis management, lose the ability to expand. I have seen some of the most successful, big, rich men. They keep their personal life away from the wealth they have. They have not punished themselves with a luxurious lifestyle. Please understand, I have seen some of the richest people of the world in very close quarters. I tell you from my experience. People who have not punished themselves with their wealth, people who have not punished themselves with their wealth and luxurious lifestyle, only they are able to continue to keep their spontaneity, crisis management abilities, and creativity alive. Only their muscle memory and biomemory is active to live, run the life, expand the kingdom they have built. If you want to destroy somebody, somehow make them addicted to luxurious lifestyle. After that, you don't need to do anything. They will destroy themselves. Somehow make the luxurious lifestyle glamorous for them. That's the best way you will get rid of your enemies. Any fellow who is caught in the mental setup of the luxurious lifestyle, I tell you, don't be afraid of him. He will be destroyed. He will destroy himself. Don't be afraid of him. I wanted to remind this one truth today. How your identity collapses when you get out of this aparigraha lifestyle, Mahadeva, in his description of Yama Niyama, please understand, from now onwards, whenever I talk about yoga, whenever I use the word yoga, I mean the yoga taught by Mahadeva in Agamas. I am not disrespecting Patanjali. I have a high regard and respect for Patanjali. Whatever he speaks is directly taught by Mahadeva to him. But fortunately now we got the original direct words of Mahadeva, what he taught to Patanjali. So from now onwards I wanted to put this on record. Whenever I speak about yoga, yama, niyama, all the technical terms, you should adopt the definition given by Mahadeva in Agamas. In Agamas, Mahadeva speaks highly about this aparigraha lifestyle. The context of aparigraha, the reason to live with minimal things, is to keep you alive, active, to keep your muscle memory and biomemory brilliant, bright. See, the luxurious lifestyle makes you insensitive. Above all, makes you life negative. It just makes you life negative. It destroys your metabolism. It destroys your ability to enjoy. Finally, it destroys your very approach towards life. I tell you, luxurious fellows are the most frustrated people on the planet Earth. Much of the problem of the developed countries is not depression, frustration is one of the biggest problem the developed countries are facing, because they have not understood with their own wealth they are torturing themselves. Having wealth is not wrong, but torturing yourself with the luxurious lifestyle is wrong. Don't punish yourself with the luxurious lifestyle. It's an old way of living. It is not cool. It's not modern. It's not fashionable. Living luxurious lifestyle like kings and queens is the old stupid way of living. Don't think it is fashionable. Fashionable, cool is living simply. Understand, lifestyle of Mahadeva is most fashionable, modern and cool lifestyle. Catch it. The modern youth should accept, adopt lifestyle of Mahadeva. Cool. That should become cool. That is cool. Create when you want, celebrate the way you want, and don't punish yourself with the luxury. That's the biggest punishment you will be giving to yourself. Why do you want to be a fool? Don't you see all the kings, queens, destroyed themselves? Come back to lifestyle of Mahadeva, which is fashionable and cool. And I'm really telling you, going around with your hormonally imbalanced mental setup, picking up on your own a boy or a girl, dating, and then marrying, falling into depression and divorce. All this is old lifestyle. Come back to the fashionable lifestyle of arranged marriage by matured parents. That is the cool trend now. Allow the parents who are very balanced, who can look into your life end to end and pick up a right person for you. That's the most fashionable, modern, cool lifestyle. Forget the stupid old fashion of don't be in 1890 Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood movie star. And that stupidity is outdated. And all that lifestyle these fools are teaching, running around the same tree and singing duet, and picking up your husband or wife with your own trial and error method of dating, mating, is stupid. And it's a failure lifestyle, failure system. It's all over. Come to the matured, most successful style of letting your parents who are cool, balanced, choose the boy or girl for you. That's the most fashionable and modern lifestyle. I'll make all these things into modern and fashion. Understand the essence of today's satsang. Luxury kills you while you are alive. Luxury makes you insensitive and puts you in identity crisis. Luxury is the source of your strong SDHD. Continuous luxurious lifestyle creates deep self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial in you. Not only you develop SDHD, you develop SSDHD, means strong SDHD, is SSDHD. Have wealth. I am not saying don't have wealth, but because you have wealth, you don't need to abuse yourself with luxurious lifestyle. You don't have to abuse yourself with a luxurious lifestyle. Remain as simple as possible so that you have the freedom to reinvent yourself. Essence of today's satsang. Fellows who run behind the luxurious lifestyle are the most cheap fellows who don't have strength, trust on their own life. Luxury kills even while you are alive. This is the subject for Vakyartha Sadas today. I request all over the world, all the Sangha, temples, ashrams, mutts, monasteries, adhinams, centers, to revive the Vakyartha Sadas trend again. Vakyartha Sadas should become popular again. All of you should involve yourself again in the Vakyartha Sadas. So with this, I move to the next segment of the morning satsang. Bangalore Mahant Atmapurna birthday blessings. With all the auspiciousness, you will be with me, I will be with you. Blessings. I already blessed you in the Facebook also. Blessings to all of you and blessings to the whole Bangalore Sangha. Blessings. And Guadalupe, Kotari Mirail Lamoth, birthday blessings. With all the auspiciousness, you will be with me, I will be with you. Be blissful. So, with this, I'll move to the next segment of the morning satsang. Today, morning, the Inner Awakening participants have blindfold reading again, practice. And you guys have a long day today. Let's get ready. I bless you all. Let you all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Advaita, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nityananda.org, www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.